need to return to the first, and then I would ask that you apprise the others of recent events here in the source, namely the initial return and the development of the new ultimate weapons. As for the bodies, you may assure that Master Toya and I will continue doing what we can to keep their corporate liquor stable. Safe travels, and I hope to see you on the other side, honestly. Crystal Arc, adieu. Oh, you come at the most opportune time, my friend. I've made something of a breakthrough in my research on the soul and the meaning to return to the Scion's home. I trust you too have been making good use of your time. Ill tidings from the source, you say? And I will summon the others that we might be all appraised of the situation.
Now that we are all here, what news from the source? A new Ultima weapon. We must count ourselves lucky that Gaius has pledged his assistance.
While this is indeed a worrying development, I think the state of the Empire as a whole greater grounds for concern. With the Emperor slain and Xenos returned, it is impossible to predict how matters will unfold in Garlemald. The Ultima weapon may be but the first of many unpleasant surprises.
The situation beareth closer observation, of that there is no doubt, and doth compound our need to return unto the source.
Then let us address that issue. Our long search for a means to see you safely home may well be nearing its conclusion. Thanks in large part to Urianger and Beklug's invaluable insight, we have succeeded in fashioning a vessel for the journey.
We set out to create a crystalline container retaining the more useful properties of white aurosite, but without its regrettable limitations. And after a good deal of trial and error, we made one. An ark for soul and mind both, that will allow your incorporeal self in its entirety to be ferried between worlds. A spirit vessel, if you will.
However?
Though the vessel is possessed of the requisite qualities to hold mind and memory, it wanteth yet for a means to receive of them. For that, we must needs imbue it with the Exarch's innate gift.
A gift that lives on only through the blood of the Allagan Emperors, which certainly does not flow within aurosite or any other crystal.
Just so, milady. The blood serveth as a conduit of sorts. In its absence, memory cannot pass from mind unto mind, nor from flesh unto crystal.
That being the case, we must either alter the process of inheritance so as to require no such thing, or determine a means by which my blood may permeate the vessel. I am hopeful that the records found within this tower will yield the knowledge we require to pursue one or the other of these avenues.
As well you should be. The Allagan's body of etherological research is extraordinary. I can scarce believe it the work of ages past. But its underlying principles are not so very different from those of my own field of study. Given time, we will find the answers we seek.
I know that you can ill afford to wait, and it pains me that I must ask you to do so. I can only reaffirm my promise to you that a solution will be found. Whatever it takes, I will see you safely home.
My apologies.
I do hope you haven't come to tell us that mortal peril fast approaches.
No. I had hoped to speak with the Warrior of Darkness. But there is no need to cut short your meeting on my account. I will be waiting outside.
Hold on. I'm doing something. You have to play by yourself for a second because mommy is doing something.
Why not speak in here? She knows I don't mind. Unless she didn't want to.
Apparently she didn't.
Perhaps I might accompany you. Though I am woefully ill-qualified to assist in the XIV's research, I may yet be of some use to Lena.
She can counsel. I must confess, while I enjoy my fair share of scholarly research, it would be good to step outside for a spot of fresh air. Now then, shall we go and speak to Lena? Too long. Helped a friend out with a quest, a dungeon and a trial earlier, so gears a little beat up at the moment. We have little time, so I will be brief. A city leader has been sighted in the Lakeland, and I ask for your assistance in slaying it. Well, of course, the city leader, I heard some of you have remained after the night had returned, but perhaps we should call the others. That would not be necessary. It's only a single city leader. A simple task for our guard. That said, I believe fighting alongside the Warrior of Darkness would be a viable experience for them. Peace can lead to complexity, and they gain nothing from an easy victory. But we do not underestimate the foes. However, harmless they may seem, and men would do well to learn from your example. Let's be about it then. Probably go to prepare my gear first before I do anything though. Excellent then, let us make for a fort job. I think I should better go right over here and get my gear squared away. Katsu.
Mommy is still cleaning up.
Yeah, it's done. 70. 172 average. So get all that prepared. Now we can go to Lakeland. Job. If you would wait here a moment, I will gather the others. Okay.
It's on me.
Nope. You may not remember, but you have met these soldiers once before, though only in passing. Long have they awaited the opportunity to fight at your side. I was at death's door the day after the city was attacked. If you and yours hadn't come along, I had likely stepped through, and I wouldn't have been alone. Your courage and selflessness is something we all aspire to. I too was there that terrible day. My friend was transformed into a senior before my very eyes, and I had no choice but to cut her down. The thought of returning to the field of holding a blade again, it filled me with dread. But that is no way to honor her death on my comrade. Or my comrades. And so I have returned. I swear I will not let you or anyone else from this day forward let down anyone else from you this day forward. A pleasure to meet you, sir. Truly. It seems like only yesterday I watched as you took flight astride an Armigo to go and save the Oracle. Strange to think that Illimore soldiers were once locked blades with are now on our side. But we will do our utmost to keep the peace here in Lakeland. You seem to be missing one. My apologies, Captain Lane. An elderly gentleman asked that I escort him to Claremont. It took longer than I anticipated. I'll not begrudge your desire to help those in need, but a soldier must be punctual, especially when we play host to our honored guest. It won't happen again. The name's Tyler. I'm sure you don't remember, but we once met before in the infirmary. I asked you to deliver a message to the XIV and the Warrior of Darkness. Little did I know I was already talking to him. Don't give up. Don't give in. I kept those words close to my heart, and the boundless, beautiful skies above serve as a reminder of the importance. My friend got to see the knight's return shortly before he passed. He left this world with a smile, satisfied with a glimpse of what was to come. But there are countless others who weren't so fortunate. They gave their lives for a promise of a future they never know, and so it falls to us to do everything we can to fulfill that promise. No matter what happens, I won't give up. We won't give in. Your heroism has inspired all of our guardsmen in much the same manner. Our scouts at the northern point have not had the pleasure of meeting you in person. Let us not keep them waiting. Celebrator.
Did you slay this
Interesting.
eater?
Okay.
Your orders were to await the main force before engaging.
No, Captain. It wasn't us, I swear it. The man came out of nowhere and cut it down before we knew what was happening.
By himself. Certainly it is no light warden, but nevertheless.
It's true. Felled it with a single swing of his axe, he did. Never seen anything like it. So I says to him, who are you, the warrior of bleeding darkness? And he says, no, I'm a warrior of light. And that was it. Buggered off as quick as he came.
A warrior of light?
Why would someone go around calling himself that, though? It was those bastards who caused the flood. I mean, if you were going to pretend to be anyone, it'd be him, the warrior of darkness.
Eh? Oh, I didn't know. It's an honor.
Since the Eater is no longer a threat, our work here is done. Return to your posts.
I had hoped to fight at your side today. But I'll continue to follow your example, and may we meet again.
I apologize for the wasted journey. It seems I overestimated the threat. As for this warrior of light, I do not know who would be brazen enough to take that mantle for his own. Whatever it may once have meant, it is forever tainted by the association with the Flood. The Exarch told me the truth of Ardbert and his comrades' deeds, and I am aware they played some part in your own triumph. But to most, they are synonymous with the calamity that befell this world. Still, if this man is minded to destroy Sin Eaters, I may forgive him his unfortunate choice of alias. But that is neither here nor there. I thank you for accompanying me.
With that concluded, shall we return to the Crystarium? There is a proposal I should like to make.
Forgive me. There is one more thing. A personal concern of mine. I had hoped you might have a moment to speak privately.
Take your time. I shall go on ahead.
Okay. So what we talking about?
I will not mince words. This matter concerns the Exarch. Though his countenance belies his age, his demeanor never has. He has seen more than any man should and grown ever more weary with time. But I see I give the wrong impression. While it is true he attempted to open a letter with the salmon fillet the other evening, we are not here because I suspect his mind is deteriorating.
Dang.
Nor do I believe him to be so maddeningly unconcerned by the prospect of his own death as he once was. Indeed, the opposite is true. It is for this reason that I seek your advice. Since he returned from the Tempest, the Exarch is not as he was. He seems a different man. A younger man. I know not the details of his research, but when I saw him at work recently, there was a glint in his eye that I had never seen before. He looked happy. It was as if he had peered into the future and for the first time found joy there. Though it gladdens me to see him thus, I wonder if I should not keep my distance. I fear that my presence will only anchor him to the past, remind him of all the pain that came before.
This is where we have chosen to be. He's lost the option, you know, and then Mr. Shoe. Let's go with that one.
Okay, well get out of there then. Go clean up the room for me.
Are you sure? Then perhaps we might remain as we were. As we have always been. What a relief. In that case, I will have to speak with him about the amount of time he is spending at work.
Take this.
Get out of there. You go how long?
This research is important, I know. But if he refuses to consider his own health, I will have to consider it for him.
Don't put that on your head, baby. It's got chemicals on it. Alright, moving along. This is actually moving quite quick. See how quick we get through it. I might do 5-3 tonight too. I will not keep you. You and your comrades have much to discuss. I will see the others back to their post. Quote unquote, he's already back at the Crystarium. The others were quite shocked to hear what we found in Lincoln. But now that you're here, there is a proposal I should like to make. I have been spending a great deal of time in the Cabinet of Curiosity, and of late I have noted more and more people pursuing books of history, the years leading up to the Flood in particular. I suspect they wish to know more about the Warrior of Light, as well they should, but nearly everything I've come across describes them as sin eaters, or worse. Regardless of whatever or not this Warrior of Light is, or who they claim to be, I worry that their sudden appearance in the conjunction with the renewed interest in their predecessors may lead to growing unrest and fear. If the people of the Crystarium seek the truth, I say we give it to them. I too can attest to this falsehood found within full many of the cabinet's tombs, with nay a mention of the noble deed of Harvard and of his comrades. To be fair, they bear some responsibility for the flood, but when the tale is told again and again over the course of a century, I'm not surprised to see their role distorted into them painted as villains. Were it not for the records stored within the Crystal Tower, I would have had no reason to question the narrative. Unfortunately, that knowledge was of no use when I arrived here in the first. The reputation had already been irreparably tarnished. That said, there still remain those who worked tirelessly to defend their good name in those early days following the flood. Considering all the good they had done, I find it and wonder they needed defending at all. They brought to justice a man who misused my knowledge to bring about the fall of Voldemort. That such hero could be spoken of in the same breath as the sin eaters and as a server. normal circumstances, I would agree, but the time passed, those who knew firsthand of their deeds dwindled. In the end, only one truth remained, that they were the cause of the flood. With the world on the brink of oblivion, it was all too easy for the warrior of light to become the villains, deserving only of resentment and hate. At that point, the truth mattered little. It would not change their lot. Thanks to all of you, however, their lot has been changed, and now they may heed the long-forgotten truth. You claim it was Allah who helped you overcome Silch, correct? Such a revelation would do well to sway the hearts of those who know him only as a villain. I have shared this with a select few, but one and all must be told of his sacrifice. To that end, I say we proceed with Alpha Node's plan. We can call together the people of the Crystarium and recount to them the true tale of the Warriors of Light and the flood that followed in their wake. Well, what do you say, Durand? Spread the word, I say. Then we're all of one mind on the matter. Good. Exarch, might I ask you to continue working with Belu on means of returning home? The rest of us will see to gathering the people of the Crystarium in the XIV. We have to reach out to anyone and everyone who might be willing to lend an ear. With any luck, word would spread more and we'll keep them company. Ooh, excuse me. Alright. Speak to the people of Crystarium. Durand, what a wonderful surprise. Though I hoped you were being here doesn't mean someone's been hurt. Thanks to you, I've had far fewer patients come through my door of late, which is a shame. Come to think of it, I've had fewer opportunities to test my new medicines. Just of course, it actually has been quite pleasant to have a few moments to myself now again. The truth about the Warrior of Light, but the Exarch has already spoken with me about them. Well, if there's more to the tale, I'd very much like to hear it. Let me just say, hey, look, we're trying to get people out here that can talk. I think everybody else is on these people over here. I think those two are upstairs. I guess. Okay, there's probably one right over here. Okay. Come to browse wares in the market, have you? Well, I can guarantee you have no trouble finding what you need, whatever it may be. Under Ilmore's new leadership, trade has never been more prosperous. Word is that fellow from Delua Stoneworks has taken over as mayor. Did he really? Little wonder business is booming the way it is. I imagine it won't be long before all of Norvin reaps the benefits, but you've not come to talk about the market. Something's on your mind? I see. The Exarch did mention they had something to do with your returning the night to the Norvin. Alright, consider my interest piqued. Okay, it should be right over here somewhere. And then we'll catch the other two on the way back in the Ether Shard. Well, to what do we owe the pleasure? Whatever it is, I must ask you to be brief. With the night returned, visitors have been flocking to the Crystarium, and I find myself too busy by half. I don't mind it, though. Seeing the stairs so full of life and excitement, one can almost forget the flood ever happened. The Warriors of Light, yes, the Exarch has mentioned them before, but everyone knows them now as the Cardinal Virtues. Or are you suggesting there's more to it than that? Well, you've yet to steer us wrong, so I'm willing to hear what you have to say.
You look so great. Oh my gosh, I love your outfit. I love your hair. You did. Here. Hi, Mr. Donald. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Pretty good. Excited to see my new demon.
Let's go there.
It is not a tiny home, but I'll try to do the best I can. Thank you very much. Yeah. That's right.
Well, what a coincidence. I was just reading over a letter I received from not that long ago. He says the visitors from the Crystarium found him at the bottom of the ocean, and that he inspired him to reach new artistic heights. Well, I can only think of one person capable of both feats, though I say the latter is far more impressive. To think fate could bring the two of you together in such a place.
That's the thing. This is so just like pressed down. Like soap like comes on your hand.
I'm sorry, you mean the Exarch didn't tell us the whole story of the Warriors of Light? Well, whatever. He left unsaid. I'm all ears. Okay.
Now, my husband is very much under construction, so we're getting to it.
Assuming I have to get down somewhere. Use this to get to the next one.
Here's to see if you can bid them before I put them back. Okay.
There should be right in here. And up the steps. Speak the morning. No, this can't be. Surely there's at least one book here that does not cast the words of light and their deeds in such a negative light. Oh, Duran, forgive me. The Cabinet of Curiosity has been busting the visitors of late, but I fear the anticipatory lacks of the knowledge they seek. The people wish to know the truth of the flood of the Warriors of Light. I have searched high and low, but alas, every account portrays them as no better than sin eaters, abominations worthy of only scorn and resentment. I know they were not always judged so harshly, yet I came by no proof, and I dare call myself a librarian. You would address the people and tell them the truth, the words of light, of the flood? How wonderful. You have regaled me with the tale once before, but I should love to hear it again. Oh, and you may be assured I will not come alone. Okay. 4 of us. I dare say we spent the custodian from top to bottom. Now we need but wait for the people to gather.
Yes, this looks to be nearly everyone. Let us begin, shall we? Though I am usually the first to hold forth at such events, I think on this occasion that honor should fall to you.
They would be more inclined to take the word of the Warrior of Darkness.
Indeed. In light of the subject matter, who better than thee to speak these truths?
Wicked White? The Warriors of Light did all that?
So they never... I mean, they only ever wanted to help. And when everything they'd done turned to ash, they still carried on.
They gave everything to stop the flood. First their lives, then their souls. And they managed it too, in the end. They saved us. And we cursed their names.
This should go a long way towards clearing the air. Impossible. I definitely see something. You don't think it's a ghost, do you?
Nay, yonder standeth no bloodless apparition, but a warrior of light and darkness both. Ardbert.
What in the world?
It's you! The one who slew the Eater!
That it should be the Warrior of Darkness who brought the truth to light. You've saved me a fair bit of time. Though I have a few words of my own to say, if I may. People of the Crystarium! I am Ardbert. One of those you know as a warrior of light.
That's impossible. You should be dead.
Aye, that I should. But as the world has been given new life, so too have I. I know not why I, and I alone, have been gifted this chance. But I do know this. Only by the will of the star itself could such a miracle come to pass. The hero who stands before you now, the warrior of darkness, is not of this world. And the day will come when he must return to his home. But this land is our home. And if it is to remain so, now and forevermore, it is we who must protect it. The time to rely on saviors from afar has passed. It is you who must rise. You who must become the new warriors of light.
What? Us? Warriors of light?
None of us were born heroes, my friend. I was only ever a man with a thirst for adventure. But wherever my journeys took me, I was invariably confronted with the same choice. To lend what aid I could to those in need, or not. And I always chose the former. Any one of you could do the same. All you need is the will to help your fellow man, and the resolve to see it through.
From thine own lips did we learn of Ardbert's fate, and by thy countenance I gather thou art not inclined to recant thy testimony. Yet whosoever this man may be, his words hold truth and resonate with the citizenry besides. For us to voice our doubts here and now would serve but to sow disquiet. 'Twere better we retired under the ocular and there discuss this matter in private.
Go. I will stay here and watch.
So, that is a warrior of light of the first. I've not had the pleasure of making his acquaintance, but as you all seem to be in agreement, I gather this is no simple case of mistaken identity.
As far as I was able to discern, that was indeed Ardbert. It has been a long time, but not that long. Could he truly have been resurrected as he claims?
Ardbert did entrust his very soul unto thee. I see no reason to question thy judgment.
Nor I. To my eyes, your ether burns as brightly as the day you slew Emmett Selk. That is proof that he is with you still.
Yet that which standeth now before the people is far more than a passing imitation. I am reminded of the cardinal virtues, though a sin-eater he is not. Which leaveth but one plausible explanation.
That he is an Ascian.
Given their fondness for posthumous possession, I would have to agree. From what I understand, the Warriors of Light were later rest in union by those whom they had aided in life. At the time, some few still remembered them as heroes. Needless to say, 4 of them were subsequently exhumed to serve as the virtues. And if one knew where to look, Ardbert too would not have been difficult to find.
My girls was never this low.
Assuming then that this is indeed the work of an Ascian, My mind inevitably turns to the last remaining paragon to survive the Sundering.
Elidibus. That Xenos hath reclaimed his own flesh is known. Thus evicted from his borrowed form and cognizant no doubt of Emetzel's failure here in the first, 'tis quite possible the emissary chose Ardbert for his next vessel.
Alexa, turn on fire pit light.
Inhabiting the flesh of the fallen. That is unsavory. And they do this often, you say?
Nikki, don't worry about it. I'm about to stop.
Verily, for they possess no corporeal forms of their own. In what one may term their natural state, none save those gifted with the echo can perceive them. Indeed, when Elidibus intruded upon the waking sands, his presence did go unmarked by all save Newfoundland and the warrior of light. On that occasion, I myself remained ignorant of his coming until after his departure. It was only at a later juncture, when he deigned to appear before me in borrowed flesh, that I was finally able to take the measure of him. In such puppetry do the Ascians engage when they seek to influence the course of history.
And they have gained much by it. Emetzel single-handedly built the Garlean Empire in this manner, while the Hebrea came close to conquering Eorzea, having taken possession of Thancred's living body.
Yet it must needs be noted that the Ascians cannot avail themselves of all mortal vessels. For were they able to do so, none would serve as a better pawn than our own redoubtable champion. Mayhap the blessing of light shieldeth Hydaelyn's chosen from Ascian influence. Or mayhap other forces are at work. We cannot say for certain.
Whatever the reason, I hope it holds true. I dare not contemplate what might come to pass otherwise.
Is it not peculiar, then, that Ardbert's mortal remains should be susceptible, given that he was once a warrior of light? Or did the final departure of his soul make it possible, perhaps? Regardless, to hear an Ascian use him to call forth new warriors of light boggles the mind.
Elidibus hath ever been an enigma, his ostensible purpose being to preserve the balance between light and dark. When he made overtures towards me, however, I was afforded a glimpse behind the mask of the self-appointed emissary. I shall not defend mine actions, undertaken in pursuit of a better understanding of our foe as either wise or prudent. Nevertheless, what little I did glean may now prove useful. Elidibus possesseth a subtle mind, practiced in the art of manipulation. That he coaxed this star's most valiant heroes as far as the source with naught save half-truths is no trifling feat. And now I believe he doth employ his skills once more to some as yet unknown end. Though naught is certain, should my suspicions prove true, we shall have need of all our wits if we are to uncover and thereafter thwart his plot.
Agreed. 'Tis plain that simply speaking out against him will not avail us. At best, it would only serve to confuse the people. And I would hesitate to do anything which might tarnish Ardbert's reputation once more, nor yours by association. That being the case, it may be wise to keep a covert eye on this Ardbert's movements, as we attempt to discern his purpose and how best to mitigate his influence.
His performance appears to have concluded. What now? Go back out and follow him?
Okay, let me go get this stuff out my car and take it to the bank.
'Twould appear Master Alphino already hath pursuit in mind, and I suspect one pair of eyes shall better serve our cause than half a dozen.
She's
Let
out.
the rest of us
transporting.
maintain an inconspicuous distance, for the present at least.
You just don't got no concern.
Nah.
Where's this?
Okay, let's try this again.
Charlie, where you put the diaper bag at?
That's not what I tried. Open this. Sorry, not that anybody's here. About to hop off anyway. Cause there's too much going on.
She's still tired, Callie.
Bro. What the heck? Alright guys, well, not that anybody's here, so plus I got everything going on. I'm gonna go ahead and cut it here tonight. I'm gonna pick back up later on. Thanks for hanging out.